Welcome to Ignite Success. I'm your host, Snowden McFall, 25-year professional speaker, 6-time author, and women's coach in confident public speaking and money business breakthroughs. With me today is Dina Wasmer. She is president of Incite Creative Inc. out of Baltimore, Maryland. Welcome, Dina.
Good morning, Snowden. Thanks for having me.
So Dina, tell us about your company, how long you've been in business, and what it is that you do.
Thank you. Well, Incite Creative was birthed out of my 2-bedroom apartment about 20 years ago. Actually, February will be 21 years. And we grew from there, from our 2-bedroom apartment and a single phone fax line that we would interchange to a pretty swanky office in Baltimore across from the train station. And from there, moved to really a virtual office. So working out of the home, even pre-COVID, converted 2-car garage. But that works really well for what we do as an outsourced CMO or Chief Marketing Officer, where we are working with a wide variety of clients to help them get the most out of their marketing and do so efficiently from a strategy and implementation standpoint.
So today's advertising world is so different than it used to be, and with digital marketing and all different applications and platforms showing up all the time. How do you make sense of all the noise for your clients to get them results?
That's exactly right. There's a lot of noise, a lot of distractions out there. I tend to use the squirrel syndrome or example with a lot of my clients. They seem to get that. Sometimes people will be so well-intentioned, opportunities will come up, and whether it's sponsoring a golf outing or being on the next social media platform or writing blogs and advertising a wide variety of things. And that's why I always encourage them to start with a plan. And that plan is really inspired by getting internal and external audience feedback to determine where the growth opportunities are. What do we do well now? Where do we see the market heading? What do we enjoy doing? And where do we think we can be the most successful? And then really focus the plan on those areas. It really helps focus so that those other distractions that come up, when they do arise, we have something to bounce it off of and can say, does this take us closer to our goal or further away from it? And it makes it a little easier to justify what to take on and what not.
So what advice do you have for, particularly for women business owners and women CEOs, about advertising and marketing in today's world?
Well, for those of you who were Mad Men watchers back in the day, it is nothing like that now.
Nothing. It never was in my lifetime. I don't know about yours, but
yeah, no. And, it's having cut my teeth at an ad agency. I did see hints of those, and that will be stories for another time. But I think that probably over something stronger. But there are hints of that still today, where women need to have a voice. But I think it's come such a long way. But I would say that, and I can say this for myself because I do it, that I think that none of us want to come across as being a angry bitch. And so there's that fine line of stating your case, making a point, having a strong opinion and perspective. But the more that we can make it not an emotional aspect, but more back it up with data. And so that's where I think that math and other professions tend to be more male dominant. But when it comes to marketing, there's a huge analytical side, data and analytics that go along with marketing strategy and execution and the people part of the job. So I think that the more women can get involved in that will help us further our position in the field.
Right. There's two things there. One is my husband's a conversion rate optimization specialist, so he's all about data analysis. So I know exactly what you're talking about there, and I think that's important. The other
Mhm.
point is I was coaching a woman last week who's an attorney, and she was talking about modulating her passion in the courtroom. And I said, well, there's a difference between passion and conviction. And I said, and
Mhm.
as long as you can show your conviction and your authenticity, that is powerful. When you get too passionate is when people say, oh, women are being emotional. So
Mhm.
I completely concur with what you're talking about. So, what is
I
the
agree.
best way for people to get a hold of you so that they could work with you, Dina?
Well, I can be reached at Dina, Dina, at incitecmo.com. And that's incitecmo.com. Our website is the same extension.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for all the great work you're doing, and I wish you every success.
Thank you, Snowden, very much. Appreciate it.
Stay tuned. We have more interviews with other great women coming up soon.